Okay, welcome back. It's time to get back to the Caterpillar generator set project. Now, I haven't put up a video concerning this unit in, I would say, a good year and a half or so. I'm not going to spend a lot of time rehashing information that's already out there. I will leave links in the description to the previous videos that have been posted regarding this generator. But today, the goal is to get the water jacket cleaned out in the block. So we're going to cut to a little walk around video and we're going to get to work. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, let's do a little walk around here. So the block is pretty bare on the exterior. Front timing cover's been removed. Right along this area here was a coolant gallery. This here is where the gas pony engine would mount, and it would drive the ring gear right there. Got our compression release lever and throttle lever right there. Generator end, give you a shot of the tag here. 66 kilowatt, 480 volt, that's how it's stamped, but it is reconnectable to 10 wire generator end. 900 RPMs. This is a very slow turning unit. It's a 8-pole generator end. Got the exciter hanging off the back here. General Electric tag on that as well. See all the connecting rod journals there. Injection pump and fuel filter housing and the oil filter housing. Hop up on the trailer here. Got our cam gear, governor weights, injection pump drive. Cylinder head deck, the block deck there, and all the liners have been removed. So in this video, what I want to do is knock off a lot of the loose rust and scale that is completely plugged up this cylinder block. Let me hop up here again. There we go. I want to try to show you this without getting in the way, but this block is completely coated on the interior with a very, very fine powdery rust. Like there's actually chunks of it. I've got cardboard little discs cut out and shoved where the lower liner O-rings seal, just to prevent all this from going down into the crankcase. I mean, I've never seen anything quite like this before. Just here's a big pile of it. Look at that. What is that? Just dirt. It looks really like dirt. It doesn't even feel like rusty metal. It's almost like they filled the cooling system of this poor engine with duck pond water. They went out back to the mud puddle or the duck pond and just scooped up buckets of water and dumped it in the radiator. Really a mess. But I don't see a lot of pitting, which is a big plus. All of these cast surfaces are smooth. They don't feel like they're eaten away or they're brittle. It's very strange. Let's cut again, and I'll show you one of the cylinder liners. Okay, let's take a quick look at these liners. This is 1, 2, 5, and 6 here. 3 and 4 were the first to come out, and they've already gone to the scrapyard. But I've taken a wire brush to this one. I have no idea which cylinder this came out of. But you can see that the surface is just rough cast. It's not pitted. You can even see the casting identification marks. I guess that was for the mold. still in the liner. I don't know, whatever that rusty dirt is, it seems to have protected the casting. But originally I was going to reuse these liners, but I've opted to replace them. They've got a pretty significant wear ridge around the top of the piston stroke. I do not know if they are out of spec, but since I'm this deep into this engine and I'm already going to be replacing 2 of the liners, it just makes good sense to replace all 6. Alright, let's cut this and get to work. Well, I've already gone through with the shop vac and sucked out as much of the really loose stuff as I can. And from here it's all pretty much tedious elbow grease, trying to get as much of the remaining rusty flakes as I can off of the interior of the cylinder block here. My weapon of choice is a little piece of tin, a little sheet metal there, rounded corners, and I'm just going to scrape up and down on the flat surfaces, and then I'm going to have to go in with a little scraper or a flathead screwdriver and try to get all the nooks and crannies. So it's pretty tedious. It goes something like this. You can see all the flakes. The casting itself is really in remarkable condition compared to all the buildup that's on it. Better straighten my handle out here. Unfortunately, there's a lot of areas I can't get to with this. This is good for these flat spots and the edges and the sides here, but there are a few pockets where only reaching down with a screwdriver is really gonna allow me to clean. Luckily, this is a fairly large engine, so getting my hand in there to do a little bit of extra scraping is not really that difficult. Hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. Have to move you here real quick. Stand by. you'll see what I'm doing. These little magnetic lights are a real savior with this kind of stuff. Always wear your clothes you don't mind getting dirty when you're working on this kind of stuff. I've learned that. I get dirty just looking at this thing. Give it a hit with the shop vac, see what's left in there. Well, while it's nowhere near clean, at least it's less dirty. Let's get a close-up look so you can see some of that casting. Take you right on inside there. Hopefully this isn't all overexposed. But can you tell how that the casting is not in bad shape? But you do see all those pockets like there. That was completely packed. Alright, nothing to do but keep working at it. Well, move the whole unit outside because the next step in this cleaning process is going to be very, very dusty. And that involves going in the water jacket with little wire brushes. I got one on a straight die grinder, one on a 90-degree grinder. We're going to go in there and buff out all the rest of the loose powder. Got a respirator and some goggles for this task because this is going to make quite a mess. Luckily, it's a bit breezy outside, so hopefully that'll blow some of the dust away as I'm working. Let me get started, and then I'll bring it in. Okay, here's a look at number 1's water jacket. This is about as far as I'm going to go with cleaning the rust and everything out. All the loose particulate is how it has been removed. There's some staining left behind, but again, I know I've said this about a million times, but the casting is in really nice shape. No pitting. Nothing significant, at least. Now I still have to clean the sealing area around the bottom, where the liner seals, and the counter bore as well, right here. But that's about all the heavy cleaning I'm going to do in the water jacket. Got 5 more to go. Let's see if I can get you some action shots here.
knock the piece of cardboard out of the way. You guys seeing anything? No, it's very difficult for me to see where I'm actually cleaning once that dust starts flying. Let's keep at it. Running out of air. Now you get the gist of it, right? Kind of labor intensive. Slow going. Takes about a half an hour or so. At least that's what. Alright, we're back inside. See how we made out. Take a look at these water galleries here. Get me some extra light here. Looking pretty good. Ports to admit water to the cylinder, nice and clear. I've sprayed everything down with WD-40, that's why it kind of has that darkened look to it. Let's take a peek at the cylinders. Much better. I'd say that's a good day's work. Yeah. So my next step is really going to be the internals of the crankcase, and I'm including the internals of the timing gear area with that. This whole area is coated with a thick sludge, just from years and years and years of using, I'm sure, straight weight non-detergent oil. Well, that's all they had back in the 30s and 40s. You can see the crankcase is completely sludged up. And it's even got some of that rusty stuff, that rusty powder from the water jackets that fell down in there when I pulled the liners out. So there's still oil down there in the sump, or I would call it tar right now. It's barely oil. So my plan for this is pretty much going to consist of making the engine itself its own parts washer. So I'm going to add a pump of sorts on the drain of the crankcase here, fill the engine with, you know, maybe 5-10 gallons of diesel fuel, whatever the capacity is, and then have a 55-gallon drum as sort of a particulate separator or a filter, someplace where for the sediment and sludge to settle out or be filtered out, and then pretty much just use a brush like you would have in a parts washer and go in the crankcase here and scrub all this sludge off the surfaces. Once that's done, I think I'd be ready to install the liners. Of course, the liner, the lower liner sealing area and the counter bore up at the block need to be thoroughly inspected. But I have a feeling that the counter bores are going to be in fine shape. They just need to be cleaned. And the same thing with the lower sealing area. So that's all for now. I'm going to try to get a video of the Caterpillar up at least every 2 weeks as I get some work done on it. So thanks for watching.